Hey guys, HydroHead here. This is Thanos Legacy. This is by Cates, Duggan, Level, Smith, Boyd, and Redmond. So when you see the lineup on the cover, I had assumed that this was just a single story with two writers. But as it turns out, that's not how it is. We have Thanos Legacy, which is Cates. Let me get this where you can see it. Cates writing, Brian Level as the artist, Jordan Boyd as the colorist, and Clayton Cowles, of course, doing the letters, because he letters everything. But there's, as you'll notice, no Duggan, no Smith, and no Redmond on here. That's because there's actually a second story at the back of this one. It's a little bit thicker, so you're not getting shorted, you're just getting extra content. It is $4.99, which is unfortunate. And there is a digital code inside, so if you make it in far enough, I'll be giving that out. I don't know if the digital code will include both or just one story. I imagine both, since they're calling it all Legacy, even though the second one has its own name. But let's talk about what's inside. So the title and the cover would imply that the story is all about Thanos and his legacy. But there's just a little bit more to it. We really basically briefly touch on everything that Thanos has done. And we kind of start where Lemire's story... Was it Lemire? No, we start where the Cosmic Ghost Rider story kind of left off with Thanos. So, yeah, it kind of covers what happened in Lemire's, just barely touches on it. But if you haven't been following along with the Thanos story lately, then you're not going to be left out, because they do a fairly good job at filling you in on everything. One thing I really liked about this is they did some interesting panel layouts, which was pretty cool. I don't know whose idea that was, but I enjoyed it. Also, the way they tell his story was pretty neat. Great colors, solid art. As far as what's actually happening in the story, it's not too predictable. You're learning about his past and how he plans to change it, because he refuses to turn out the way that old man Thanos turned out. And it's kind of like leading you in this direction of what you think his conclusion to beating that problem is. A little bit of a twist at the end, but they're kind of heavy-handed with the foreshadowing right before that happens, so kind of easy to guess in the end, I guess. Let's go ahead and skip that so I don't ruin anything. We do get to see the Cosmic Ghost Rider again. Fairly entertaining. So, in the beginning of this story, he specifically went down to Mephisto and told Mephisto never talk to Frank Castle, because he wanted to make sure that Frank Castle would not be the Cosmic Ghost Rider. After something bad happens to Thanos, as you can see, he's dead. But after somebody kills Thanos, it turns out that the Cosmic Ghost Rider is still Frank Castle. Yeah, he's still cosmic, even though technically he really shouldn't be. Sorry about that. The Cosmic Ghost Rider disposes of his body, and that's when we find out that they are introducing, instead of the story continuing on about Thanos, they are instead going to create a MacGuffin. I don't know why they want to create a MacGuffin, but basically, there you have it. The will of Thanos is an object, and I'm sure this is going to be a blast in the future. Who knows though? The story was good. I'm sure they're gonna do a fine job. It just seems like a kind of a sad crutch. But at the same time, Cates is on like 6 different titles right now, so you can't expect gold anymore. The next story though, this one is called One. This is by Jerry Duggan, Corey Smith, and Ruth Redmond. This one surprised me because, I'll be completely honest, I haven't really read anything by Duggan that I've enjoyed. I gave even something of his a positive review, but all in all, he's not that great. Sorry, I just noticed there's the wrong limb is on this as well. He did a variant cover. I'm sure he's a good guy, but he's he's not the one I'm looking for. But anyway, this story, I really enjoyed this story. It's almost completely visual, which is nice. The visuals are fantastic. Corey Smith, you and Ruth Redmond are a good team. You do good work. And then one thing about this is, I think it was last year, in the very beginning of this year, the original creator of Thanos, they don't thank him here, so I can't name him. The original creator of Thanos was talking about how he was leaving Marvel again. He's freaked out, left Marvel a couple of times. But this time it was because he had planned a graphic novel, which is going to be a straight release as a graphic, no floppies. And it was basically about Thanos' past, himself, his daughter, and like that whole back history that's never really been touched on before. And it was going to be done by the original creator. Well, Marvel greenlit somebody else's story that was almost identical to it, but to be released as floppies. And of course that enraged the original creator. He threw a tantrum and he left. I think this might be that story or part of that story. Don't know though. That's just my guess based off of what it's about and the timing. Anyway, check out this art. Love this. Albeit, I know we see a lot of the hyper pink and purple hues, but they did a very good job with this one. As you can see, it's pretty much all visual, and I really like it that way. They tell a good story without using any words. We basically get to see the relationship between Thanos and Gamora when she's very young. It is quite interesting, and here you go, guys. Here's the free digital copy. If you made it this far, congratulations, you've earned it. Let me... Water's gotta be so hard. Alright. Here you go, marvel.com/redeem. This is your code. First come, first serve. Take it. I don't care. Get that? Right there. Alright. We're moving on. Check out this awesome art, though. Basically, we follow Gamora down to a planet. We can assume that Thanos sent her down here for a reason. We quickly find out what that reason is, and we learn that... Well, I don't really want to ruin it for you. I'm just going to let you check out this art. You can really take a closer look when you're reading it yourself, but I'm a big fan of that little mini-story. Next up, we got a Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw reveal for Guardians of the Galaxy with the most disappointing Silver Surfer I've ever seen. This freaking Iceman on a stick of butter. And no, it isn't just that it's far away. It really is that there's just that little detail on that character. Oh, but it's just the Silver Surfer. If it's just the Silver Surfer to you, then you don't understand how awesome he is, or anything about his legacy. Some of the other characters, though, they did a fantastic job. I mean, just look at this dog. That's a good dog in a suit. Anyway, I do recommend this book. It is $5, though, which is a total bummer. You get 2 stories. The second one is particularly good, albeit short. The first one is also good. I liked it. I'd recommend it. But honestly, if you want to just take the code and read it yourself, that's fine with me. Thanks for watching. Boom. Hail Hydra, baby.